I jinxed myself, didn't I? In that last review about how I mentioned, oh, maybe this is why Kung Fu Panda 2 is the best in the trilogy because of Poe's tragic backstory and stuff. After having to watch it, yeah, I pretty much called it. I should have known. Also, right now it's kind of, well, okay, it's technically delayed, but right now it's 11. I should have gone to bed like 30 minutes ago. Actually, I finished the movie right in the nick of time around 10:30, as I like to go to bed at 10:30. Well, right now I'm trying to go to bed at 10:30 because I'm always up late, you know, because I'm a night owl, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm just trying to make sure I don't stay up late as always, especially on school nights, but just, I could have filmed this as soon as I was done watching the movie if I hadn't taken a nap, which was totally unplanned for. It's a good thing I don't have too many videos to make this week as far as I know. Tomorrow I probably have a few to make. Ugh. Good lordy. Also, I completely forgot that we had that little issue with Instagram and Facebook being shut down, as I was freaking out for no reason. I of course made a video talking about that real quick. I should probably add the thumbnail and add like the Instagram and stuff. I'll do that whenever I get the chance, unless I forget. Right after I film this video, I'm gonna be editing it tomorrow because, yeah, I gotta go to bed ASAP, so I better not waste any time and make this quick. So yeah, I just finished watching Kung Fu Panda 2 about 30 minutes ago. Make that 31 minutes ago. So I mentioned in my last review that I found the second one to be my least favorite, but mainly because I remember that movie making me a little bit sad at the time as a kid. And by sad, I mean that I was devastated having to watch Poe's tragic backstory, because I most likely cried a little bit as a kid. I don't know, I just remember that was tough for me to watch, because, yeah, that kind of broke me. That straight up broke me. I was like, how old was I in 2011? 5 years old, good lordy. So yeah, I mentioned in my last review that I don't know if I saw the first one at home on DVD or in theaters. But I most likely could have possibly seen this in theaters, but I'm uncertain, mainly for the first two. I'm uncertain if I had seen both on DVD or in theaters. It's uncertain. For number 3, no, I definitely remember seeing that in theaters twice, as I've already mentioned. And, yeah, this is, of course, another childhood movie of mine, which... When did my childhood end? You know what? Be right back. I'm gonna go ask my mom real quick. She's in the kitchen making something, which I think is an egg sandwich, so be right back. Alright, I'm back. I got a complicated answer from my mom. Apparently it ends when you start working? I'm gonna assume my childhood ended right around when I turned 12 or 13. Anyways, yeah, let's make this quick, as luckily I didn't make a 20-minute video talking about Kung Fu Panda 4 yesterday, so I'm gonna try keep it at 10 minutes and make this quick. Unless I just read everything I just wrote on my Letterboxd review. So yeah, I mentioned that this was my least favorite. Well, I found this to be my least favorite. Technically, the last time I watched the Kung Fu Panda trilogy was like not that long ago, which was about 3 months ago, because I was dying, because I figured if I maybe watch one or all the movies, we'd finally get the trailer, and yeah, we eventually got it around that week, which was a Wednesday. I watched the first one on a Monday, then the second one on Tuesday, and then the last one on a Wednesday, which, was it before or after we got in the trailer? Well, that was possibly in the middle of the night. I can't remember what the heck I was doing on December 13th. But yeah, since I had planned on rewatching the Kung Fu Panda trilogy again in prep for Kung Fu Panda 4 that's coming out this Friday, yeah, I figured I'd give it one last shot just to see, okay, why is this the best in the trilogy? As I've heard, mainly on Twitter, but just, alright, let's try this again. Because, I mean, I know I didn't like this as a kid, just found it to be my least favorite, but just, alright, let's see why is the best, and, now having to rewatch it again, I could slightly understand now. Sorta. Just maybe a little bit. I'm assuming that the reason this is the best in the trilogy is because we grow deeper with Poe's backstory. Pretty much learn where he comes from, and, of course, we learn that Lord Shen was behind, which, yeah, that's probably the reason why this is the best in the trilogy, as far as I'm assuming, so. Because Lord Shen, who, I will say, I'm back and forth on him being my least favorite or not. I mean, don't get me wrong. All Kung Fu Panda villains are absolute goats. They're all fantastic villains. My personal favorite still goes to Tai Long, but yeah, Lord Shen and General Kai are still awesome villains. I'm just back and forth with Lord Shen being my least favorite. I don't know. I guess I'm indecisive about it. I mean, I just remember finding this to be my least favorite as a kid. Now, maybe I might slightly have a changed opinion about it. I don't know, but no, yeah. We do get to find out about Poe's backstory, and that Lord Shen is just, like, yeah, pretty much that's probably why it is the best, because Lord Shen is responsible for trying to kill almost all pandas, and as far as I know, I think he only killed one, and that would be Poe's mom. Unless he did kill some pandas, and that, like, say he was Thanos. He killed half of them, and the half got away. I'm assuming that he killed at least half of them. But yeah, no, still. Even though I'm, like, back and forth with him being my least favorite or not, he was a pretty good villain overall. And I don't know when I found out about this. So, kind of like a similar situation with who I found out voiced Tai Lung in the first movie. I guess I was also shocked at who voiced Lord Shen. I don't know if this was before or after I found out who voiced Tai Lung, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sometimes aware of which actor is voicing which character, but eventually down the line, as I grow up and get older, I then come to find out which actor voiced who, and I'm like, what? I didn't know that! But yeah, I can't think of any negatives I have for this movie as well, other than that this has banger action as always, like the first one and the third one, which, let's be honest here, pretty much all three Kung Fu Panda films are one of DreamWorks' best movies. Unless it's just maybe the first two, and that the third one's just overall a good one, and that they just think the first two are the best. I don't know. I'm assuming that's what people think, but if we're talking about top tier best DreamWorks movies, that would go to the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, which I'm kind of in the mood to watch those, but I'm gonna wait until we get the live action movie, which we're gonna be getting next year, as they started filming on it a while ago, right? Also, I plan on making a video talking about my thoughts on that, because we're entering a new age where we're getting live action movies for almost every single animated movie we've gotten. Because I thought Disney were just the only ones making their movies live action, but now everyone else is joining along. Like, is this even going to still be a DreamWorks movie? Just DreamWorks' first live action movie? I mean, Pixar's making their first musical movie about ducks. Yes, that is true. We're getting a musical from Pixar. History is about to be made. Okay, I'm getting off topic. But back to the review. So yeah, like I said, I can't think of any negatives I have for this movie other than that. Great action, fantastic music as always, and honestly, I think one of the best parts of this movie was just the dynamic we got between Poe and the Furious Five, which not gonna lie, I kind of want to see more of just the Furious Five, and like Poe and the Furious Five just kicking butt in anything, and I guess we get most of that in the TV show, which I'm aware there's like 2 or 3 different TV shows. One's on Amazon Prime, one's on Netflix, and then one was on Nickelodeon around the time. And I will say this, that theme song from that show, Awesomeness, whatever it was called, is an absolute banger as it slaps.
Kung Fu Panda! He lives and he trains and he fights with the Furious Five. Protect the valley, something, 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 something alive. Kung Fu Panda! Legends of awesomeness. Sweet.
Kung Fu Panda, Legend of Awesomeness. Sweet. Damn it, I did it again, didn't I? Let's speak about the music. I didn't talk about enough about Hans Zimmer composing most of the music in the trilogy. Like, no, yeah, I'm pretty much a fan of Hans Zimmer's music for whatever movie he has done. Like, not only just the Kung Fu Panda movies, he also did music for Man of Steel, one of my personal favorite movies that came out 10 years ago. I don't know, just like, yeah, Hans Zimmer is just awesome making music, especially with the Dune movies. I will say this is probably the most emotional film we have in the trilogy. And yeah, I will say this. This is definitely one of DreamWorks' best movies we've gotten from them. And as I've said earlier, yeah, this is another childhood movie of mine that I've watched at home. Maybe I did watch this at home, and I didn't get to see it in theaters. No, I have to believe I at least saw this in theaters. But yeah, even though I did enjoy Kung Fu Panda 2, but found it to be my least favorite because I just was sad with Poe's backstory, I was more obsessed with the first one, which, now that I think about it, the Kung Fu Panda trilogy may just be Sam Raimi's trilogy to me. Well, the only difference between the two is that Toby's third movie was kind of ruined by Sony, while the third movie, yeah, it's just good. Just not as good as the first two, as I'm assuming what others have said. But no, for Sam Raimi's trilogy, I have the first movie as my personal favorite in the trilogy. I was obsessed with the third one as a kid. Now, it's the first one I love the most. Second one, I still don't understand why that's one of the best superhero movies. I'm probably gonna have to rewatch it so many times just to fully understand. But yeah, that's kind of a similar situation here with Kung Fu Panda. The first one's my personal favorite, as that's always been my personal favorite since I was a kid. And I'll say this, I didn't even think we were gonna get a third movie after number 2. But I'll talk about my thoughts on that once we talk about Kung Fu Panda 3 tomorrow, which, speaking of which, I always keep remembering the first and third movies ending, but I keep, the last time I watched this movie, I didn't know how this movie ended, but then once it showed the ending, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot it ended like this! And I will say, this movie probably has the best ending out of this entire trilogy. I mean, the last movie ending ended on a funny note, with Po asking, you want to grab something to eat? And Master Chief was just like, yeah. Well, the third movie ended on a pretty much happy note, but no, yeah, I think this is probably the best ending out of the first and the third movie ending. Because it was so heartwarming just having to see that Poe's dad was alive and that most of the pandas pretty much survived. Back to what I said earlier, half of them survived, while the other half were slaughtered by a peacock and a bunch of wolves. But yeah, that will pretty much be a setup for the third movie. And I would say that these movies, 1 to 3 of Kung Fu Panda, are kid movies, which technically are, but they're mainly just family movies, because these movies do have, like, deeper meanings and messages in them, which is kind of the reason why they're pretty much one of the best movies we've gotten from DreamWorks, as they have a lot of emotion in them. Mainly for the second one. I'd say the second one, as I've said earlier, I'd say the second one is the most emotional out of the trilogy. Mainly because of Poe's tragic backstory, because, yeah, that broke me back then. It still kind of does now. Oh god, baby Poe's so adorable. Oh god. But yeah, I can now maybe see why Kung Fu Panda 2 is the best in the trilogy. Now, for my personal opinion, I don't know which one is the best for me. I love all 3 of them equally, even though I was obsessed with the first one and had the second one as my least favorite. But now that as an adult, well, I don't become an adult until April, but still. But now that I'm a lot older, yeah, my opinions kind of changed then. But yeah, I love all of them equally. Even though I have the first movie as my personal favorite, which is pretty much going to be my personal favorite until the day I die. I did that again, didn't I? Well, at least I didn't say something weird after that. Also, I'm back and forth on this being like a good movie for Father's Day, since we do get like good moments between Poe and his dad, who happens to be a goose. But then I remember that the third movie also involves him reuniting with his real-life dad. So I guess I could say Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3 are good movies for Father's Day? Actually, I might as well include the first movie as well, because the only father and son dynamic I could find in that movie is Tai Lung fighting his adopted dad, Master Shifu. Okay, that scared the crap out of me, so I don't know if you heard that, but I think their cat's having like a little kung fu fight or something, and by kung fu fight, I mean they're probably just beating the crap out of each other or something. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Okay, I'm making this video way too long. I was supposed to make this at least 10 minutes, and it's now about to be almost 20 minutes, so my overall rating is going to be an 8.5 out of 10, but yeah, I could see how this is the best in the trilogy, sort of. I could maybe see it. Man, it's because of Poe's tragic backstory. Is that why? Or do I gotta watch somebody else's review? No, I already watched one review while I was typing all this down. Which, by the way, I was kind of looking at my review on Letterboxd, as you can see right here. Like, so, honestly, I basically took notes here, so I did myself a favor there. But yeah, my rating is going to be an 8.5 out of 10. I can see this, I can maybe understand why, but yeah, first one's still my personal favorite. Well, with that being said, those are just my quick thoughts on Kung Fu Panda 2 that came out in 2011. Be sure to leave your thoughts, comments down below. And now they've reviewed 2 movies. We got 1 more to go for tomorrow. So, yeah, stay tuned for that, as I'll be caught up with the Kung Fu Panda trilogy and prep for Kung Fu Panda 4 that's coming down this Friday in theaters. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Skadoosh.
Skadoosh.